you guys? My name is Aubrey and this is my channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the fourth stimulus check. Because the fact of the matter is, this week is a really important week regarding stimulus, spending bills, and stimulus checks. You see, this week, President Joe Biden will be addressing Congress for the first time as president, and in that speech, he is expected to lay out some of his plans for the American Family Plan, which is the social infrastructure bill that we've been hearing about for the last month or so. And in that speech, President Joe Biden will give us hints and more information on whether or not a fourth stimulus check can actually become a reality. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down whether or not we could see a fourth stimulus check, if we do see one, what it could look like, and really all you should expect to see this week. Now, I'd also like to thank the sponsor of this video, Fixed, but more on that later. So let's get started. At this point in time, in April going on May of 2020, we have seen three stimulus checks. We saw a $1,200 check around this time last year. We saw a $600 stimulus check in December of 2020. And then we saw a third $1,400 stimulus check in March of 2021, so last month. Now, ever since that third stimulus check became a reality, there has been a lot of discussions on whether or not a fourth stimulus check was something that would actually end up happening. And to be honest, I've been on the fence about this myself. I have thought that there was a chance that we could see a fourth stimulus check, but I also think that there is a chance that we won't see one. Now, one of the reasons why I've theorized that we would not see a fourth stimulus check is because of the fact that the child tax credit is becoming a reality very soon. We are entering May, and in July, which is just 2 short months away, we will see the child tax credit come to fruition. And with the child tax credit, people with children and families will not only be eligible for a lump sum of money next year in April when they file their 2021 taxes, but they'll also be eligible for monthly payments in the meantime, which can equate to sometimes hundreds of dollars per month between the month of July and the month of December of 2021. This is substantial and it will help a lot of people that have children, and because of this, I've theorized that this would impact the probability of getting a fourth stimulus check. Another reason as to why I've theorized that we may not see another stimulus check is because of the fact that this pandemic has not been affecting people equally, and this has been a proven thing that lawmakers and data has proven over the last year. People in certain industries are disproportionately affected by the pandemic versus people in other industries. For example, the travel and hospitality industry is still an industry that is affected by the pandemic, but more internet-based industries are not as severely impacted. But because of the fact that stimulus checks are dispersed based off your income level, not necessarily the industry that you work in, there are a lot of cases where people are getting a stimulus check even though they don't really need one, which could be considered in some cases wasted money. Because of these factors, as well as other factors, I have been on the fence about the probability of a fourth stimulus check, because of the fact that it is going to be a tough sell for Republican lawmakers to vote in on a fourth stimulus check. Now, I still think that all of these issues that I just mentioned are real reasons as to why we may not see a fourth stimulus check. But the one game-changing deciding factor that could sway the probability of getting a fourth stimulus check in the other direction is the American Family Plan, which is being announced, or at least being discussed on this week. You see, if you have seen my YouTube channel before, if you've watched any of my videos in the last couple of weeks or in the last month, you may remember me mentioning a $4 trillion spending bill. This is the infrastructure plan that so many people have been talking about. Now, this $4 trillion infrastructure bill is divided into two parts. We have the American Jobs Plan, which is a $2 trillion infrastructure bill with a focus on traditional infrastructure. Things like railways, waterways, roads, bridges, highways, clean energies, jobs, and so much more. This was a section of the bill that was announced last month by President Joe Biden, and I do have a video that has gone through all of the details of this that I will link down in the description below. The second half of this $4 trillion spending bill is the American Families Plan, which is a social infrastructure bill. This is a bill really focused on social ventures. Things like free community college, paid family leave, universal preschool, and potentially a fourth stimulus check. Now, this Wednesday, President Joe Biden will be addressing members of Congress and lawmakers for the very first time as president. And it is expected that during that address, he will be outlining the American Families Plan for the first time in detail. During this address, it is expected that President Joe Biden will go over the details of the American Families Plan. He will go over what the focuses of this plan will be, what the spending efforts will be, what endeavors it will fund, and also it will help us gauge an idea of what we can expect in the next couple of months as this bill begins to be negotiated on. Now, before we dig into the details of what we could expect from this address and from a fourth stimulus check, let's first take a minute to thank the sponsor of this video, Fixed. Now, if you guys have seen any of my other videos, then you know that I am a big car sharing advocate. I love car sharing. I have a Turo fleet. I have a car sharing masterclass. It is something that I've put a huge focus on my life in. Well, what Fixed is Fixed is a great tool for anybody that has a car sharing fleet or anybody that just owns a vehicle in general. What Fixed is a small OBD2 port sensor that plugs into your car and it connects via Bluetooth to your phone. And through your phone, you can look at all of the data of your vehicle, including what life your battery has left, including diagnostic issues like scanning to see what check engine lights are for and to see what could be causing issues with your vehicle. It also has a high-end feature that allows for you to see if your vehicle would pass an inspection. In addition to all of these features, with Fixed, you can also have access to a master mechanic, which means that if there is an issue with your car, you can contact a master mechanic and get their 2 cents of what could be wrong with your car and how much you could expect to pay to fix that. I believe that Fixed is one of the best tools that you can have as a car sharing host or as a vehicle owner. I have one for all of my vehicles. I bought ones for all of my family members. I have one for my personal car as well. If you guys are interested in checking out Fixed for yourself, then I will include a link down in the description below. I will also pin a link down in the comment section as well. Thank you, Fixed, for sponsoring this video. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's dig into what we can expect on Wednesday. So as I mentioned earlier, with this American Families Plan, we already have a decent idea of what type of ventures it will focus on. Free community college, universal pre-K, paid family leave, all of these are ideas that have been thrown around of things that will be included in this bill. But a fourth stimulus check is something that has had a focus in the last couple of days. And there is a consensus that if we get a fourth stimulus check, chances are it will be announced in this address on Wednesday. Now, I don't really have a personal prediction of whether or not I believe that a fourth stimulus check will be included in this spending bill. But I do think that if we see a fourth stimulus check, it will be included in this bill. I think that if a stimulus check is left out of this bill entirely, is left out of this address entirely, I personally believe that that will be the end of stimulus checks. If we don't see one in this spending bill, then I predict that we won't see one at all, but I don't know if that will be the case or not. Now, like I've said in previous videos before, I do believe that if we do see a fourth stimulus check, it will be significantly more targeted, meaning the same people will not qualify for it in the fourth round as they did in the third round. I also believe that it will be a smaller amount as well. I think ultimately the days of the general public getting stimulus checks are over, and I think that a fourth stimulus check will be more specific and more targeted. But like I said, if we get a stimulus check, I do believe that it will be announced on Wednesday. If it is not announced on Wednesday, I think that that is a good sign that we are done with stimulus checks for the foreseeable future. But like always, you guys, I think that this is really interesting. Stay tuned this Wednesday, which is tomorrow, to learn more about this. I will be doing a video on this speech, a deep dive talking about what President Joe Biden discussed, the details of this package, and so much more. So if you do not want to miss that, then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss a single video that gets published. But like always, you guys, if you have any questions, comments, or if you have anything to add, then make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.